Okay, so I'm sorry I keep getting interrupted with these videos. So we're still on Lamed Zion, Amud Aleph, and Avodah Zarah. And there was discussion with Yehuda Nasiya and his Gabba Reb Simlai, who was a Talmud Chacham himself, had a discussion as to whether or not they should say that non-Jewish bread is kosher. And because Rabbi Yehuda Nasiya said that they declared non-Jewish oil is kosher, and Simlai said they should have said the same thing about bread, because people can't handle saying that the bread, if all the ingredients are kosher, why can't we say the bread is kosher? And it was a rabbinical decree. And then so then he said, if we're too permissive, people are start gonna insult us that we're too permissive. So then he said, well, there's a case where there was Yosef ben Yezer Streda. He was permissive about three things, but if you only are permissive about one thing, and that's oil. If you're permissive about one other thing, it'll still only be two and not three. So Rabbi Yehuda Nasiya told his Gabba Reb Simlai, no, I'm already lenient about two things. So that would make it three if we permitted the bread. So Maihi, the Gemara asks, what was the second thing? We have the oil already. What was the second thing that Rabbi Yehuda Nasiya permitted, was lenient about, was permissive about? The Snan, a Mishnah in Gittin. Zekitechim leibasim ikad ad shnei maser chodesh umeis b'sei shnei maser chodesh einai get. Mishnah says, a man gives his wife a bill of divorce on condition. What's the condition? The condition is, if he doesn't return within 12 months, he's going off on a journey. If he doesn't come back within 12 months, this is her get, and she could get married in 12 months. If from that point, if he doesn't show up. So what if he died within the 12 months? It doesn't count as a get, because he menses only after 12 months. But there's a problem there. So what difference does it make if she if he passes away? Excuse me. So then she's single and she can get remarried. So what difference does it make if he passes away or if he gives the get? The answer is, what if they didn't have children? If they didn't have children and he has a brother, she has to marry the brother or go through chalitza. If she goes through chalitza, well, maybe, if she has a get to Gorish, she also can't marry a Kohen if she's a Grusha. So that doesn't really make a difference. But the thing is maybe the brother wants to make the Yibum, the levirate marriage, and she doesn't want to, and she's stuck with that issue of levirate marriage. Anyway, she can't remarry until there's a chalitza. So weiter. V'sanei Allah, rabbis taught a brayso about this. V'rabbeinu hitirua linasei. Rabbis say that the get was valid retroactively, because it says mikan vad shnei maser chodesh, from now until 12 months, means that from now it's retroactively a get if he doesn't show up in 12 months. V'mrina and man rabbeinu. So who are the rabbis we're talking about? Amar Yehuda Mishmol Beis Dinner Deshar Mishcha. And so Yehuda said name of Shmuel, it's the same Bezdin that said that oil is kosher, meaning Rabbi Yehuda Nasiya. Because Savrei lo Rabbi Yosi. They held like Rabbi Yosi. The Amr Zman Shel Shtar Mechiach Alav. that every document is dated, and the date on the document says that it's retroactively valid. So if he put the date from that time, it becomes retroactively valid if he doesn't show up within 12 months. And so if he passes away, it's also a get, and so she doesn't have to go through chalitza. V'amar Rabbi Abba breda Rabbi Chia bar Abba, Rabbi Abba is the name of Rabbi Chia bar Abba, Rabbi Yehuda nasi hayra, v'lei haydalei kol shatei. Rabbi Chia bar Abba said that Rabbi Yehuda Nasiya, when it says Rabbi Yehuda Nasi, it means Rabbi Yehuda Nasiya. Here it doesn't mean Rabbi Yehuda Nasi. He said that she could be married, but all of those years that he lives, all the hours he lived, all his days, all of his time, they didn't accept the ruling. From like Kol Siyase, but some say it's all of his helpers, all his colleagues, the rest of his court didn't agree with him. If that's the case, if it wasn't accepted, so that's not the second thing that the Beis Din was matir, because we see the Beis Din wasn't matir. But once we're on the subject, let's stick to our subject first. Amar lei Rabbi Eliezer Rabbi Elazar lahu sava. Rabbi Elazar said to a certain old man who was a member of Yehuda Nisiya's court, Kishrusua, Altish Risua, the lei ase oidem lachar shnei maser chodesh hadei kayim leitanoi. Rabbi Elazar asked one of the members of the court if she became, what point was she considered divorced? Was she divorced as soon as he died, as soon as the husband died, or was she divorced after 12 months? Because that was his stipulation. So the question is, the Alter Shri Tua, Rashi says, Kshamu by Shemeis, as soon as she hears that he died, is she already single? And he says, Hachi Garcino, Alter Shri Avad Leasi Oid. And Rashi says, because we're sure he's not going to come back. They know he's really dead. We have Tosfos here. Alter Shri Tua Had Leasi. The Haloyasi. Tosfos brings that Vim Tomer Pshita Del Alta Himoteris the Miyad Shemeis Hari Tanai Kumukuyim Le Yashav Oid Le Veisle Vishlemer the Mikol Makom and Baile Igazvin Meis Atule Meis. You might ask the following question. She should be allowed to remarry right away, because he's never coming back. So the answer is no, because we're worried that maybe people, once they hear this, even if he didn't die, and for some other reason they know he's not going to come back, they're going to permit such a case, and so for that reason, it's a question. And so the question is, the widow, does she have to wait until the 12 months passed from when he left, or can she remarry right away? We're talking about in the case where it's an issue of chalitza. If there's no question of chalitza, obviously she can remarry right away because she's single, because he's dead. But if it's a question of chalitza, then she can't remarry until she makes chalitza. And of course, also the same thing. If they were able to make chalitza in the 12 months, also she can remarry. So weiter. Let's just try to finish this Amud, because I don't think we're going to be able to do the whole daf today. But we're still ahead of the game. Or if not today, maybe we could do it later. If it's boy lachem and sneesen, you should have asked the following we have in the Mishnah, the Snan. A Mishnah also in Gittin. A man says to his wife, have a get? So there, if the man says that this is a get, me'achshav, right away, he makes it clear, there's not the ambiguity that we have in the previous case. If I don't come back in 12 months, and he dies within 12 months, have a get kaim late tonight. Then it is a get because the stipulation was fulfilled. He's not coming back. So you might ask her, la'al to have a gita. So then it's immediately hadlayasa, the halayasa, because this guy's not coming back. Or still, in our first case, does he still have to wait? Does she still have to wait till the 12 months have passed? Shlomi, please go get dressed. We're leaving soon. And Achinami, yeah, you're right. Al mishum dahabis bahu minyana. They asked Rabbi Lazar, what kind of question is this? We have a mission already. So he said, yeah, I'm only asking this man because out of historical interest, he was one of the people who were there when they voted on this. I want to learn a little history, So Marabaya. Hamar Baya said, Kol moedim kshteitzi chamen artika. L'chi nafka kamarla. It's an interesting terminology here. I know there's a lot of people online, especially on YouTube. They like to talk about the firmament, the rikia, and Gemara talks about different questions and issues about the firmament, the rikia, and things. But here, there's a case in dispute. Omar Baya said, this is, of course, we're later in history. Kol Moedim, everyone agrees that if the husband tells the wife, says when the sun comes out from its holding place, meaning when the sun rises, L'chi nafka kamarla, he means that something is going to take place in the morning. Right? See Rashi says the kavah sa hacha. This what we're talking about here. The stipulation that he's making is that he's not going to come back if he doesn't come back within 12 months. So what if he says if until the sun comes up tomorrow? What if he dies that night? If he's making that he's saying that the get is going to take effect in the morning, get lacher misahu. It's posthumous. It's after the divorce is after he's dead, and that's not because he said the get will take effect. The divorce will take effect tomorrow morning, and he dies during the night. So the divorce took place after he's dead. A dead man cannot divorce his wife. What if saying it's on the condition that the sun is coming out from its holding place in the morning? That's like telling her this get is valid now. Who? Because when he's saying it's on the condition the sun's going to rise tomorrow, he knows the sun's going to rise tomorrow. So he's saying it's going to happen now, and even if he dies that night, it doesn't matter. He fulfilled the stipulation. Because the stipulation was a stipulation of a certainty. And so the get was given before he passed, and so it's valid, and she doesn't have to go through chalitza if they don't have any children. So Rav Huna, this is like Rav Huna said, Rav Huna kolam ramanas kaimer me'achshav dami. Rav Huna taught that anyone who says a condition means the condition happens from now. Lainechel kula be'im teitze. The only disagreement is where the husband says if the son comes out. And so the same thing, if I don't come back in 12 months, all these things. Rabbi Yehuda Hanasi, Savar like Rabbi Yosi. Rabbi Yehuda, it's actually again Rabbi Yehuda Nasiya, holds like Rabbi Yosi Damazman, or shall shtar mechiach alav. Well, see, what date did he write on the document? V'havalei k'mei yomi mati, k'mei achshav mati. If he says it's from today, from now, if he dies, it means it's right away. The rabbis disagree with Rabbi Yosi. That the get is only if he dies. It doesn't mean retroactively. It means, and so it's a whole different issue. So Gufa, what did we see here in the Gemara? Hey, Rabbi Yosi ben Yezer Yishreda Ayal Kamsa. So Yosi ben Yezer, who was the man of Tzreda, he said that the ayal grasshopper, the deer grasshopper, is kosher. Dachan, it's kosher. Mashkebe medbechaya dachan, and that the liquids from the butchering liquids, the water and the blood from when they butcher the sacrifice in the temple, those are pure. They don't impart tumah, because there's no intent in things getting v'al diikrav lemisa misoiv. And if you touch a dead body, you're impure. V'karla Yosef Sharya, and they called him Yosef the permissive. So Gemara is going to discuss these three issues. So first question is Ma'al Kamsa. What type of grasshopper is a deer grasshopper? Or a hart grasshopper, H-A-R-T, a deer, antelope, whatever it is. I would say ayal, it's like ayal is a shachar, it's something like a gespalten with antlers as opposed to horns. So that's why I would say ayal means a deer. So if Papa Amar Shoshiva, if Papa says it's the type of grasshopper known as Shoshiva in Aramaic, Chia Barami Mishmeda Ula Amar Susbil. Rav Chia Barami said the name of Ula, that it's the type of grasshopper that's known as the susbil. Alright, this is where we're up to. Rav Papa Amar Shoshiva. So if Papa says it's a Shoshiva, Kemefligi B'Roshei Arich. And Yosi ben Yezer and the people argued whether a grasshopper with a long head could be eaten, because the Shoshiva has a long head. Mar Savar Roshei Arich Aser. The opinion that was strict said that the long-headed grasshoppers are not kosher. Umar Savar Roshei Arich Mutter. Yosi ben Yezer, the other master here, holds that they are kosher. So if Chia Barami Mishmei Ula Amar, if Chia Barami is the name of Ula, Susbil, that it's a type of grasshopper called the Susbil. We're going to have to address this in another video, although it's quite interesting, entomology, but I gotta go.